Welcome back to the Rum Runnas Podcast, where we drink rum and talk about stuff. I am Jared.
I'm Peter Pan.
He's Peter Pan today. Now, today marks the second week in our weekly series for the holidays for the month of December, with this week's topic being about the origins of Christmas. Now, this week is going to be a little bit different because today I'm handing the reins over to Kyle. And he's going to be talking, and I'm just going to be interrupting and interjecting whenever the hell I feel is appropriate. Okay, so let's turn it over to Kyle to get things started.
All right, so it all started in 1988.
I don't think that's when Christmas started. Let's go back in time further to when it actually started.
People want to know my origin story, Jared.
I think people know your origin story, and I think they have an idea that it happened in 1988, and it involved your mom and planning an accident. Am I right?
Yeah, man, just like Jesus.
Was a planned accident?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, because somebody's just like, oh, my goodness, no, guys, I have a baby.
He's a rape baby.
Surprise, here's my baby that I'm having. It's not yours, husband, but that's okay.
Jesus is a rape baby.
Dude, no, they weren't. There was like 500 of them, and like half those women died because of it. She was just a lucky one. Dude, you didn't know about that?
Are you saying God's dick was just so great that most of the women couldn't handle it?
I want to say yes, but I'm just saying that like immaculate conception in a time where adultery got you murdered was a huge thing that happened many times.
Okay.
Just imagine like you like come home to your husband who you haven't banged, and you're like, hey, check it out, I'm all pregnant and shit. And he's like, how the fuck did that happen? You're like, God? And then...
I can see how that would definitely go bad.
Yeah, because they all die except for like that one time. Well, depends on how you believe that story.
Yeah. I still like to think that God's dick was just so amazing that all the other women died.
I think he just OD'd it up, man. He just like fucking turned into like a cow and fucked some people. He went all Zeus and shit.
Why would he turn into a cow?
Dude, I don't fucking know. That's what gods do. They turn into humans.
I thought I know Zeus always just turned into like a really good looking dude.
No, he didn't.
Bang bitches.
He straight up fucked a lady as a cow.
Is that the story?
That's how Minotaurs got made.
The great cow fucking of Athens.
So off topic and fascinating started.
Yes. And who started that?
I did because I was swagwaying into Jesus being born.
Let's keep swagwaying.
The birth of me.
We will continue that until I get a shirt made of it, and it's going to be merch. Look for it, swagway.
All right. So, like wintertime, I wrote notes because I'm fancy.
He's trying to be very, very professional. And speaking of,
I pretended like I didn't just write these a few hours before.
But you planned them for quite a while. But speaking of professional, as you can tell, we've upped our drink game. We're drinking something different.
Fancy Christmas drink.
It's called like Jingle Balls or something.
No, Jangle juice.
Jangle juice.
I don't remember what
it's like. Jangle juice, Jingle juice.
Jungle juice, whatever.
It's jungle juice. There's a lot of rum in this.
There's not even that much rum in it. I did it totally not wrong. Jingle juice. It's cranberry jingle juice.
Jingle juice. That is what we're drinking. His wife suggested it, and I think we fucked up.
It's only got a whole bottle and a half of Captain Morgan in it.
Yeah, an entire
What kind of Captain Morgan? Do you want to like?
Captain Morgan, private stock. Not a sponsor, but once again, you could be. Hit us up.
Yes, stop that.
Hey, you set me up for it this time. You set it up there. I just spiked it the fuck down.
I wonder if it's still gross.
Let's see. So the first time we tried it, it was basically just rum.
That's good.
Tastes like flat Sprite now.
It's still got a weird, indistinguishable fruit flavor.
Yeah, like you really can't tell what the fruit is, but you can tell that it's there. But the first hit that hits your mouth isn't rum anymore. It's flat Sprite.
I didn't get that.
That's what I got.
I got rum and juice.
Sipping on rum and juice.
It's not a song. It's not a song.
It's a song now. I just made it. It's on the internet now, so it's a created song.
Snoop Dogg.
Now we're gonna get in trouble.
I'm pretty sure he'd be down.
He's one of our avid listeners.
He is. Snoop Dogg is my biggest fan.
So where the fuck does Christmas come from?
All right, so Christmas is like, well, all right, so everybody has always celebrated like wintertime since like forever because
I'm just pointing out that
it's unnecessary.
Okay, fine. So everyone has celebrated wintertime forever.
Wintertime has just always been a good holiday because it's like, oh shit, everything's dying. And people were like, we need a way to be like...
I thought that was fall. Wintertime is when everything's dead.
Listen, all right.
Dying is fall. Welcome to my world.
I'm not that bad.
Until you've been drinking for a while.
We just started, and you had none, and I had some, and...
I think I broke Kyle already.
No, it's a celebration of like the sun dying and coming back because once the winter solstice hits, it's like, all right, so yeah, fall is everything's dying and it's getting dark and it's darker and darker and darker and darker.
It's a scene kid.
And then the winter solstice is like the darkest day of the year. Everybody knows that. But what that means is like once that day comes, they start to party because they know shit's going to get warmer and the sun's going to stay up longer and it's going to be, you know, good times, and they're going to be able to eat again because everybody's starved all winter long and shit. And
so it's like positive thinking.
Yeah,
it's going to get better.
It's pretty much how like the Jesus and all the other stories are like the sun, the rebirth of the sun story. Like,
yeah.
They just, instead of the sun, they're like, no, it's a dude. It's fucking always wrong.
It's like a pagan story, but they were like, let's just make it about a guy instead of the sun.
It's like every story ever, like, because the Egyptians had Ra, and then there was Odin, and there was fucking Jesus, and there was
fucking Jesus.
Fucking everybody, like, every religion has, like, one sun god.
Yeah.
Sun god. That's the same thing where he has, like, a virgin. But that's not what we're talking
about. It's why he's referred
Christmas.
to as the light. Like,
talking about the birthdays, that is.
But no, you're just explaining that the celebration was always like a
like
through the shit, through the bad times. You know, everything was dying, everything was dead. It's you're optimistically looking forward to the rest of the year getting better.
Yeah. So like the Europeans just kind of straight up like before the Jesus Europeans, the regular Europeans, like before Rome ruined us, as they did with many other countries.
So basically, you're talking about like pagan times.
Yeah, pagan times.
Yeah,
back with the good gods. And
the fun guys.
So they just kind of celebrated like the sun dying and being reborn, and then like this is a fucking Vikings, and they all celebrated Yule, which is like, you know, with the happy Yuletide shit that Christmas straight stole. They're like, oh, Yuletide cheer. Has nothing to do with you. Like that's a straight pagan holiday, and like Odin and fucking that's all that shit. So, but
did it have to do with kind of like what motherfucking
no, it was the same. Said? No, it was the same stuff. It was still celebrating of like the sun climbing up into the sky a little bit more every day and staying a little bit longer, and they're still celebrating the sun coming back.
Were they doing sacrifices?
Not them.
Not them?
No, I don't think so. I didn't see anything for that. They had like bonfire parties in fields, and people like drank spiced alcohols, like spiced ciders and stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, the stuff that we do.
The stuff that we drink now. Yeah.
And they gave out gifts, and the gifts that they gave were like apples and oranges that were spiked with like bits of cloves. And that was like meant to represent the sun. And then that was on like in baskets made of evergreens, which that seems pretty familiar too. Yeah. I mean, cloves and evergreens, those are things that people know pretty well. And those were to like then and wheat, and that was to symbolize immortality.
Mm-hmm. I guess the wheat kind of got like dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was also
everything can.
It was also like dusted in flour, so like, you know, like everybody like puts like fake snow on shit.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of like when you see like a wreath that's like got like the fake fucking snow. Like that's kind of like what they did.
Kind of like, I think I have one of those on my fucking door.
Yeah, probably.
It has like
the fake snow.
Yeah,
looks like it's like powdered.
Yeah, because I remember there's an episode in Supernatural where they go up against, and I think it was a Christmas episode. They go up against like, well, I mean, it's they mention Yule a couple times, and they talk about it. It was a Christmas episode. They go up against like Viking gods, and they were making reeds. And the people that bought the wreaths, they counted it as praying to them during that Yule time season, so that they counted it as an offering. And if you refused to buy one, they broke into your house and killed you, and the only thing that can kill them was an evergreen stake.
I thought it was like holly or something. Like
holly or evergreen or something like that.
Which also comes from Yule, holly.
It's something that was like Christmas related.
All right. Well then, they also did the whole burning of the Yule log, which I don't know. I learned about that as a kid watching like some Beauty and the Beast Christmas special. Like there was a big deal to Belle. I mean,
because that took place in Germany.
Yeah, and people still kind of...
No, it's France. I don't know why I think it was fucking different.
People still kind of do, like, the burning of the Yule log thing anyway. But that's like a whole... Yeah. Like, not a lot of people like this.
I'm going to assume it's because it's Spanish or Hispanic, Latino.
I don't know. I've never done it, but I've never actually had a fireplace, so I could be...
Neither have I.
But I've heard of people, like...
I've heard of
Jewish times, people doing the same thing. Like, you collect the Yule... It's just, you burn a log, and you let it burn for guess how many days. What's a number that's significant to Christmas?
Is it 12?
It's 12. You let it burn for 12 days.
It's 12 days. I am
12 days of Yule.
I did zero research.
It's weird how, like, these things are so connected.
Oh, my goodness. How could the Vikings be connected to the Jesus?
So, like, yeah, a lot of the Christmas traditions, like, you know, Christmas trees and, like, colors red, white, and green, and fucking candles.
Really? Red, white, and green? Like, that was
like your colors. They had a couple other ones. I don't remember what those ones were. I just picked the ones that are
There's like
everything
that you said.
But that was, like, a main one. Was, like,
yeah, out of everything that you said, the red, white, and green thing is actually the most surprising thing.
Why?
I don't know.
Holly, evergreens. Holly's berries are red.
Yeah,
evergreens are
it's understandable.
White candles, because that was back then.
It's just I'm just calling it back to the last podcast where we talked about Santa being red and you said it was because of Coca-Cola. It's just funny because
I mean, yeah, but still Coca-Cola didn't do that. So I mean,
yeah, it's not
that wasn't what people wore. That's just like the colors, because that was like natural colors at the time.
Makes sense. I mean, it makes
reds
sense.
And greens.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. It's just I never thought of. I mean, when you think of a pagan culture, you don't really think of be like, we have colors for things that you know symbolize our celebrations. You think of more.
Well, you know what's really funny? It's like you're mentioning how like colors is like a weird thing just because of holidays, but then there's the next kind of like pagan holiday that the Christians use a little like almost even more influence from. And what you're gonna find
Yule
funny
sounds pretty fucking spot on.
The Saturnalia is kind of a big deal, and that's where the whole December 25th came from too.
Okay.
So like Saturnalia again. It was a celebration that was midwinter. Mm-hmm. It was held from, I forgot to say when Yule was held.
When was Yule held?
It was from December 21st through January. Like the first week of January. Yeah. So yeah, like, so it's Christmas.
So Christmas season.
Yeah, and then Saturnalia was held between like December 17th and the 23rd, but that was based off the Julian calendar that they were using, which our modern calendar falls on December 25th.
Yeah. Because we use what the heck is it called?
Caesar?
No, it's not. No, it starts with a J. The Jesuit calendar.
Oh.
That's what we use. Okay. I learned that from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
But it was an agricultural celebration. I mean, I guess Mediterranean, they didn't really have to worry too much about like their farming seasons and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, the sun.
They weren't sitting there going through, like a lot of snow.
I don't know. Actually,
it got cold.
The closer you are to the equator, though, does the sun really change that much?
Changes its
position. It can't be as much.
I mean, I think you're talking about like Greece, Italy kind of area.
Yeah, Rome. But then again, exactly. Rome then became.
If you're looking
all
at
the way to Germany,
the Roman Empire, because it incorporated
some of Asia,
the United Kingdom, also like England.
Incorporated that too.
But they covered
like main Rome was just like it's warm all the time.
Plus, that's why I think the Roman Empire was at like when it was at its max. Was that still celebrating Saturnalia?
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, well, then it became Christian. It depends, because the Roman Empire...
It was quite a while.
It was, but it like the Christianity part of it was like at the end like of the empire.
Yeah, when it was the Holy Roman Empire.
Yeah, so I mean, really, Saturnalia probably was like involved into most of the gigantic parts of it.
Okay.
But
so that probably butted heads with Yule a little bit.
All right, so here's where it starts to get some of these connections with Christmas. So
we don't bated breath.
During Saturnalia, all the businesses and work stopped. Even the slaves got the day off.
Isn't that so nice of them?
It's so nice of them.
Thank you for giving me the day off. Do I still get whipped today? No.
They totally got the day off, and everybody got a party. I mean, probably not that.
They're like, you get to stay in your really, really nice, comfortable cell. Doesn't that sound great?
People decorated their homes with wreaths and greenery.
Okay.
All right, that sounds pretty familiar already. All right. Now,
put balls on stuff?
Yeah, on people's faces. This is Rome, man. Just the blowjob, putting balls on chins for Christmas decorations.
That's where it started. That's why we hate balls.
Colors. Instead of just wearing regular fucking togas, They went full colorful togas. They started putting on their fancy robes for the celebration.
Okay.
It was a fuck day.
There we go. That's what we were waiting for.
I guess I can't whisper anymore. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to come out after the last one.
Yeah.
It was a fuck day. Everybody fucked. That's too loud.
Yeah, I mean, there are people in the house sleeping. Including my daughter. Let's not just yell fuck day.
Oh, yeah, because that's ever stopped us before.
We don't just go around yelling fuck day at children. Because that's kind of what he made that seem like. We just don't censor ourselves around kids. That is what he means to say.
He was trying to say it, but we definitely had probably at some point looked at a child and went, it's fuck day.
No. I've never ever done that. And I can say that with 100% certainty. Like, even if in the event that I was banging a kid's mom, I don't think I ever would have been like, it's fuck day. Because it's just awkward saying it to the kid. Like, a kid might have been present.
Oh, wait. Whoa, wait, what? A kid was pregnant during
I didn't say pregnant. I said present.
That's during your fuck
present.
So there was a kid watching you during fuck day.
No, there was a kid was in the room. But if you've ever said the words, it's fuck day, you probably had one of your children standing in the room while you said it. You didn't say it to them, but you said it around them.
I use coaching my children around. But I do feel like if I ever was somebody's stepdad, I would look at that kid in his face. I'd come over and I'd be like, I brought the McDonald's. Guess what day it is? And he'd be like, what day is it? And I'm going to be like, it's fuck day.
Eat your fucking chicken
nuggets.
Then
I'm going to hand him some chicken nuggets, put them on the couch, be like, don't fucking knock on the door because it's fuck day. He's going to be like, I don't know what that means. And you keep saying it. I'm like, it means I'm going to fuck your mom, bitch.
Who's a motherfucker? I'm a motherfucker.
Whole time?
Your mother.
The whole time his mom's going to be sitting her mouth open. I'm like, shut the fucking mouth. Back to Christmas.
Very, 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 very bad. Very quick.
We're talking about Saturnalia. Roman holidays. And they invented
disrobing holidays. Yeah, that was a pun. That's a dad joke. I make those.
Anyway, it was a big day for gambling and singing and merrymaking and playing music and feasting. So being giant fat asses like every American does on Christmas.
Okay.
And they gave each other gifts.
Where'd the gambling go?
I
kind of feel like there should be more gambling at Christmas. There's enough money spent. Why don't we gamble anymore?
I don't know.
Why did that one get lost?
I don't know. People play Christmas games.
The fucking and the gambling
people play. Well, I mean, some of the gambling's coming back because like there's all those Christmas games where it's like, who can unwrap this shit faster? You get the most presents. You have 5 seconds. Go.
Oh, it's like
a giant duct tape.
Put the fucking Santa hat on. You put the fucking oven mitts on. You try to open it.
Yeah. So it's kind of coming back. And like my family does it. We play like
stupidity.
We play a bunch of card games.
People
and shit.
are bored.
I don't know. Probably.
You playing spades?
Oh, Cards Against Humanity because we're like a bunch of bad people. You gotta make a bunch of dick jokes and then laugh at your wife and your sister who are too timid to put down the gross ones that they have, and then they give each other.
Is too timid.
My sister, the blonde one.
The blonde one.
The blonde one.
You almost said names.
I said, yeah.
You could have just said the younger one.
No, because I have like so many of them.
I wouldn't have thought that it was the younger ones. I'm talking about just of the ones that I know, the younger.
The younger of the ones you know.
The younger of the one. Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, and then she'll get like ones, and then like her and Amanda will like team up, and I'm like, that's.
I know your wife's name is like free range though. Like you're just like open season. I'll say my wife's name.
She doesn't have a choice. But like, yeah, they'll like give each other props, and they'll be like, oh yeah, it's totally super funny.
That was so great.
Who bled out on the blank? The puppies. Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, great. That was such a great one.
Meanwhile, I'm like the giant black dick, and they're like, that's not funny, and I'm like. Why are there 5 of these cards in the deck then?
All right then, so gambling's coming back.
Giant dick cards in that game.
There are a lot of giant dick cards in that game.
And then there was like this whole thing where like they gave like these gifts of like terracotta figurines, and it was to represent probably like back in the day when they used to sacrifice humans for it. Okay. I thought that was pretty cool. We should bring that back maybe.
The sacrificing or the terracotta?
The sacrificing of the humans. Who fucking nobody wants terracotta. shit only lasts like 1,000 years.
Exactly.
You'll find whole empires of like statues carved to look like soldiers guarding a dead king.
Yeah, we never found porcelain ones of those.
Because porcelain doesn't last the 10 minutes you have it in your child's hand.
I'm aware. That's what I'm saying.
And that was given on like the.
But that's what you get now. You get those little the little tyke looking porcelain figures. Hang those on your tree, and they break immediately.
I buy fucking plastic ones. I have cats. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so basically, during like the Saturnalia times, the pagans and the Christians kind of lived together, ish, in like a not so peaceful way, and like so like the 4th century Christians were the ones that like decided that December 25th was going to be Christmas Day and not Saturnalia Day, and it was probably like an attempt like they usually did to like get like their pagan like friends to be like, hey, look at, we love Jesus, he likes your stuff too, he wants to have a fuck day just like you do, and so that's his birthday now, so we're gonna have fuck day on Jesus' birthday,
because everybody wants a fuck day on their birthday sex.
Well, yeah.
Are you literally saying that like old school Christians were like birthday sex? Yeah,
because they didn't change the holiday. They did all the same shit. They were just like, oh, it's Jesus' birthday. It has nothing to do with
all the same stuff.
We don't give a shit about Saturn. Now it's Jesus Day.
Just literally change the name of the person you're celebrating.
Dude, they changed their story so many times. Like, you know the whole part where like they hate women? I mean, I'm sorry to any Christians that don't hate women, but like
a lot of the religion.
In the book, it's totally like your number one rule is that because of women, everything went bad.
Everything sucks because of a woman, and then the people that are mostly marginalized
because of it
and punished and made to look like terrible people in the Bible are women. It's kind of messed up. It's very, very messed up.
It took until like recently in the scope of history for them to have rights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when most people are Catholic or Christian, you get the book, they go off. You can kind of understand why.
That was all done in an attempt to get the Greeks, because Greeks were totally cool with hating women, and everybody knew that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they had like separate puppy houses for them because they were basically the same as their puppies.
Yeah, the Greeks and everything like that, they were not very
no, you love fucked your best friend and you pregnant fucked your girl.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty accurate. If you've ever seen the movie Alexander, exactly what that is.
No, he fucked his mom though too.
Did he fuck his mom?
Didn't he fuck his mom?
No, I think there was just like a weird kind of fucking.
Was Angelina Jolie in that movie?
Yeah, she
was.
Then
he fucked his mom.
Did he fuck his mom?
I'm like 90% sure. Either that, or I'm thinking of that movie.
Wasn't there just like a lot of like flirtatious kind of thing, or it just seemed weird?
I might be putting Gladiator and Alexander together right now.
Gladiator.
Yeah, because King Phoenix totally fucked his mom. Was Angelina Jolie in that movie?
No, she was not in that movie.
Dude, somebody fucked their mom. I'm 100%
around the time where they were polytheistic and they were using swords and shit like that, somebody was fucking their mom.
Oh, I'm talking about a movie. Definitely people fucked their mom back then. And judging by what Pornhub's like main search interest is, people are still fucking their moms.
Or interested in it. That's what
they're thinking about it.
If you go off of porn search histories, people are definitely still like,
I want to fuck my mom and my children. Like, that's number one on Pornhub.
It's ridiculous. It's weird.
It's super weird. But if you turn the volume down, a lot of those are really good. You just don't need to hear, like, the words, because that kind of ruins it a little bit. What was I talking about?
I think you were saying that they spread out to everywhere.
Yeah. They tried to convert them. They didn't just always murder them. That's the note that I wrote for myself.
Sometimes they were like, hey, join us.
And then sometimes they were like,
those guys we murdered, but you can be the lucky ones that get to help us murder.
No, I think the Christians were more like, hey, do you believe in Jesus? No? All right. Do you want to be a slave? No? Okay. Do you want to get raped? No? Okay. You're dead. Unless you were the Spanish Inquisition. Then you came up, do you want to be a Christian? Yeah? All right. We're going to kill you.
Well, the Spanish Inquisition was a lot around. Like, actually,
it was way later in history.
It was way later in history, but the Spanish Inquisition was there was a lot more to that. There was a lot with if you looked different, you were getting murdered because they couldn't distinguish who to kill. Because like knowing if you're Christian is really because you could just be like, "Are you Christian?" and they'd be like, "Yeah."
Maybe. And then they're like,
"Totally."
You look a little bit.
Yeah, that's when like racism really started happening. Was during the Spanish Inquisition because that's what they based it off of. I learned this from John Leguizamo.
Spain. So then basically Christmas like kind of took over like Yule traditions and it took Saturday. Other traditions, and like we have a lot of those traditions still. Like we have the trees and the green, and we decorate all the shit the same. The only thing that changed is we don't party as hard. These were big. All right, now it's starting to be like that again. But like
Christmas parties are getting crazy.
Yeah. But like that dropped off for a while,
and that's only usually like a day.
Yeah, it's only a day. It's not like a week long.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I can't wait for the sun to come up. Let's fucking tell it's up all the time. And then we're looking at each other because it's not dark anymore. And we're fucking like, oh, gross. Why did I fuck that? You have a mustache. And then they wait until it gets dark again. And I'm like, I love you, wife. I'm sorry I said those mean things. Now that I see that the shadows are covering your face, I'm not bothered by it.
Exactly. That's all I'm adding to that.
That was weirdly loud.
Jesus.
I didn't know what to do.
Cough that direction.
I panicked. If I go too far, it's going to knock stuff down. Things will happen.
Don't cough at me.
I coughed in the air.
Right above me.
In the air.
It goes out like a cone.
Listen.
It's like a shotgun. So, people what?
Oh, I stopped giving a... Oh, my God. I can't do it again. That was so loud.
Okay.
All right.
So the fun stuff.
So they got rid of all the fun shit, and then people were kind of like, "Yo, this fuck day is not very Christian. Let's make it illegal." The Puritans were all like, "Yo, fuck this fuck day. We don't want your Christian Christmas. We don't want your damn Christmas. That's not even Jesus' birthday. Everybody knows he was born in spring. Fuck your Christmas." And so they made it illegal in like Boston. Like, not Jonestown. Jonestown was like, no, we still like fuck days. But Boston was all like, nah, man, fuck that shit.
Wait, so you're telling me that Christmas was still a fuck day when America was founded?
It was always a fuck. No, at this point, I'm pretty sure it was kind of like tamed down.
Okay.
I don't know.
You're kind of contradicting yourself.
I have no fucking clue. Now I'm confused. I confused myself because of you.
I just pointed out.
The Puritans fucked it up. It was the Puritans. The Puritans fucked it up. They were like, we don't like your fuck day.
Okay.
I'm sticking with that.
Okay, that's fine. If not, it's the interwebs.
It was a drunken fuck day. That's what it was.
Okay. So, like, in Europe, it was a fuck day, and, like, the Puritans, they were like...
No, because the Puritans were in here, and they were all like, oh, you're persecuting us, and really, like, they were, like, persecuted people. But, yeah, and then they bounced.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, you won't let us murder your people that don't do it? Fuck you guys, we're going to America. And then the king, whatever the fuck, was all like, whatever. We're Catholic anyway, fuck you guys. So,
okay.
And Catholics, they probably did, because Romans were Catholics, so it probably was still fuck that. I don't know, man. Who knows that part? Nobody knows. You fucking. All I know is it was illegal in America, and I stopped looking after I looked up the two parts that I knew were things that I wanted to know. And that was about Saturnalia and Yule.
Okay, so Christmas was illegal in America.
During the 17th century. Because the Puritans thought it was all sacrilegious.
It was all fucking.
And it was all like, your party is too much. Stop doing it, you fucking heathens.
Well, in any fucking.
In the 17th century, it was banned in Boston. And you got fined 5 shillings. And I would have looked up.
5 shillings?
5 shillings. I don't know what British money equals in American money, so I didn't care. It's not, I think it's like $5. So $5 back then is probably like $50 billion now. So you just went to debtor's jail for the rest of your life.
So pretty much what you're saying is that the Puritans who believed that any fucking was not good.
Yeah. No drinking, no dancing, no partying, doing shit that's fun, like that. So you can't have your fun holiday.
Exactly.
Or you get fined $.
So they were just haters, is what you were saying. Puritans were just like, I fucking hate all of this shit.
Man. Like, oh shit, you gave your kid a gift? Fuck you. Give me $5.
You don't have $5? Fuck you. Go to jail.
Yeah, man. Or like whatever they do. They like what the carved stuff into people's skin? I don't remember.
Jesus fucking
burn them? What?
The Puritans? I mean, are you talking about like scarlet leather kind of shit?
Yeah, man, those were Puritans. Fucking pilgrims, man.
That wasn't burned into your skin. It was sewed onto your clothes. Those are very different things.
Way different than everybody else. What the fuck am I?
Burned fucking like an A into like your chest?
Yeah, I didn't read the book.
Holy shit, no!
What's the Crucible about?
The Crucible is about witch trials.
Did they burn stuff into people? Is there branding in that one?
No, they burned someone at the stake.
Yeah, whatever.
Or drowned her. I can't remember. Because burning at the stake wasn't as normal as people think it was. It was a lot of drowning.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to watch someone burn.
Yeah, they would tie a rock to you and throw you in a river.
Natural feelings about that in humans when they smell burning humans to go, I don't like this.
Yeah,
and then there's like...
It's a fucked up thing.
Yeah, and then there's like one dude who's like, let me get that.
Get that.
Boom, boom.
I'm going to get that. That's a very weird place to go.
All right.
After talking about burning human flesh to go to Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, no, not the cannibalism? All right.
No, not the cannibalism. The Black Eyed Peas.
Did I say it was banned in Boston, but not Jamestown? Jamestown was all like...
You did. You specified.
We down for the party.
Even though, once again, were the parties really that crazy?
No, because probably not. No. No, because even like at the... All right, so like... When like America was finally America... 1776 America. George Washington, president of America. They didn't give a fuck about Christmas stuff. Like he like fucking sailed across the Delaware or whatever. Like, meh. That's the sound he made as he crossed the Delaware. Because I don't know how to make good sound effects. You heard me fake puke. You yelled at me for it.
That is totally what George Washington did when they were crossing the Delaware.
Onward, bitches!
He just went
across the Delaware from Pennsylvania to the great state of New Jersey. I don't actually know what direction he was going from. I don't think anybody does. Isn't it just like
I think they were. I don't think it's a true
story.
No, because I mean it's supposed to just be a surprise attack.
Anyway, so he did it on Christmas because like it was like
the British still celebrated Christmas because I think that was like the whole point.
I don't fucking know. Maybe, but like it still wasn't like a big deal. It was just kind of like a thing that people did. It's Christmas.
Well, I mean, if you look at bringing it back to the last episode in The Man Who Invented Christmas. The British didn't seem to give a fuck.
Yeah, nobody cared. Nobody cared.
So in like 1842,
he all like sailed across the Delaware or fucking paddled or whatever the fuck you do to cross like a fucking 6 foot wide river.
But he was in a canoe.
That's what the picture is, but that's just that picture in Easton. That's totally not where he crossed.
I think still was canoe.
Whatever. Anyway, so he crossed the river. It was on Christmas, and then he murdered a bunch of Hessian soldiers. And that was a big deal for America. That's like
very big deal.
Number one.
Very, very big deal.
And like Congress used to be held on Christmas. I don't actually think there's a significant reason. They're just like, we don't really care. This is the day we're gonna.
I think it's just pretty much they were like, this is a bullshit day.
This is just a bullshit day. Like
no one gives a shit.
After George Washington died.
Well, you got to think about it. At that time, there actually was a separation of church and state.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like the president was like super like hardcore about like all the rules that our Constitution put forth. And now people are like, I think it was a metaphor. Like, no, the Bible's a metaphor.
It was very literal.
It was very literal. They're like, no, we want these things separate. I'm like, America was founded by men of Jesus. Like, well, then they wanted it separate still, so who cares? They said no.
They basically said, this causes problems. Keep your bullshit out of the where we decide how to run this country.
But like literally like the day after Christmas was when they like celebrated like the death of George Washington or some shit just because everybody was already together because they had Congress on Christmas. I don't know when he died. I don't know. He's old. It doesn't matter.
He's old. He's dead.
We live in the state that matters the most because Philadelphia is where everything happened.
At that time, yeah. Philadelphia was.
I mean, it's not as great a state as New Jersey, but it's a major state in the
You're kind of referring to Philadelphia as a state. Because you're saying Philadelphia,
it kind of was
not as great of a state as New Jersey.
It kind of was back then. And you think about how many people were in per area. Yeah, that's where the capital of the world used to be. Fucking racist ass Southerners made us move it. Wanting to have them slaves, those democratic bitches. People are so confused now.
Super confused. Okay. What more do you have? So we got all the way from.
So now we're like getting into more modern times. So like all right, so like they didn't give a fuck about Christmas. It was like a no big deal. The whole thing like 1800s was when the whole this man who invented Christmas thing story took place or whatever.
The microphone.
That's when that whole movie took place. Was in the 1800s and whatnot. And there was stuff like cowboys and shit. No, that wasn't. Was it?
In 1842? There was cowboys in 1842, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that was when the cowboys were in shit. So like,
that was like
1836.
Destiny and stuff.
So like 16 years later, and the birth of America, and people were still like, yeah, we don't give a fuck about Christmas. It wasn't a national holiday until 1836. That's what I'm saying. So it took like 60 years for Americans to even be like, that's a cool day. I guess we can do stuff or whatever.
Well, I mean, once again, so
now people can have off the work and whatnot.
This is showing the difference, I guess, because in
Rome, it was a holiday.
In England in 1842, where the movie took place, when it wasn't a big deal, that was 1842. So in America, it became a big deal.
It wasn't like even a big deal still. It was like, all right, now it's a national holiday. It's okay. Like it was literally
people
thought about.
People got to take the day off.
Yeah, like people like sort of cared. They're like, this is a cool day.
Yeah.
And
it
then
wasn't until it was like commercialized that people actually started giving a shit.
And then like the steps to get to where we are now started to come. After that, like Washington Irving made up Santa Claus or whatever the fuck in the 19th century.
What are you talking about? We proved Santa Claus is real.
Anyway, and then people slowly started to add back like Christmas trees and like the regular traditions and shit, and then like we developed the colors again, and we all kind of just went back to it. And then super heavy commercialization took over, and now we are where we are now. And, fucking Thanksgiving, 500 people die a year. Buy Christmas presents for Black Friday.
Oh, okay. That's where you were going with that. I was very confused at first.
Yeah, man.
You're like, Thanksgiving, 500 people die a year.
Yeah, well, that's
because of turkey?
You fucking bailed on our super sweet job before the super sweet day came.
Oh, yeah.
And by super sweet day, I mean kind of the worst day, but also
kind of the best because you were commissioned.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So many
times. Everybody was buying knockoff TVs.
Everybody that came in, I fucking sold like Sonys and shit, man. I sold good stuff still.
And that's what Christmas has become. Christmas has become
lining commission people's pockets.
Exactly.
Because that was my favorite day.
Buy me TVs.
Buy me TVs.
Buy me bracelets. Buy me TVs. Buy me. That's what.
Buy me these diamonds that ain't even worth shit.
But hopefully everybody enjoyed Kyle's educational spiel. So for the rest of the time, we're pretty much going to talk about what Christmas has become.
So yeah, we'll talk about how like commercialization.
We'll talk about that.
It ruins Thanksgiving as well, and that's why people fucking start decorating for Christmas in October. And you're bad fucking people.
Terrible fucking people.
That's my month. Put fucking Halloween back in Halloween. Put your fucking Christmas trees away until December when it's your month. I don't think your month.
No,
I'm not putting fucking skeletons up in my fucking house.
People allow Halloween to occur. It's just the moment after Halloween happens, people are like, Christmas time, bitches.
First of all, no. People decorate for Christmas before Halloween.
Nobody lets Thanksgiving happen. Thanksgiving is the one that gets overlooked.
I wonder if like that's just revenge of the Puritans for hating on Christmas, that we now neglect their holiday.
We're like, you know what? You know that whole thing that kind of like was your whole like claim to fame? Fuck that holiday.
Fuck you, because you were like, fuck you, and we were like, fuck you, so fuck you.
It's that one viral video that's going on right now with the two guys that are locked in like the fuck you fight, like where they're just flipping each other off. Have you seen that video?
I've never seen that video.
Oh my god!
What the fuck are you talking about?
After we wrap.
This isn't the one where it's like what playing online video games is like. It's not that.
Oh my god, no! That is one of my favorite videos.
You.
What's your name? Anthony.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Anthony. That's a great video. But no, so the things that I did research, because my whole thing was Kyle's going to take the reins on this one. I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to be an asshole for most of it, which I don't think it was that bad.
No, it makes you an asshole because you did it to try and be like, this is what you're like. This was like, where you're like, Kyle, I'm difficult. Yeah, I'm difficult. But yeah,
so the two things that I was really wondering about, and I actually saved some articles about it, so I'm just going to I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to, if my phone would actually fucking open it. My phone's being stupid. I think I still have it up. Yeah, I do. So basically, what I was wondering is, what is the average cost of Christmas in America now?
$526,600.
How do you always mess up that zone?
What are the words?
525,600.
What did I say?
526,600. You say a bunch of different numbers every single time. You're like 569,403.
666,666.
Okay. Basically, the average cost of an American Christmas per this site, the average spending of a U.S. adult, and this is predicted for 2018, based off of last year, is approximately $885. It actually breaks down what people think they're going to spend. And I just think it's funny because you're actually in the majority here. Because
you fucking dare say that.
You are not a minority.
I live my life in pride knowing that I go against what everybody else thinks is right.
No, because every single time I have ever stated, how much do you think you're going to spend for Christmas? You always say, I don't know, like thousands of dollars. So 33% of Americans apparently expect to spend at least $1,000 on gifts. 22% of Americans think that they're going to spend between $500 or $999 on gifts.
Back to what you were saying, so I do plan on spending at least $1,000 or more.
Yeah, so that is the majority of people. The majority of Americans believe that they're going to spend around $1,000 on gifts. With
ironically, when I only have one kid, I spent way more money.
Well, it's because when you only have one kid, you're like, I'm going to spoil the fuck out of this one for at least the first 2 years.
Yeah, but it goes back to that super commercial holiday that gave me tons of money.
Very
I would just go shopping right after that with my like $3,000 paycheck.
Exactly. Because when you're a commission salesman and people come in to do this exact thing and spend $1,000 on gifts,
that's the money you use to buy gifts.
Exactly.
That are still on sale.
But yeah, so what I think is the funniest is that 3% of Americans say that they plan to spend less than $100. Like, I don't give a shit. How do you spend, even if you're spending it on yourself, how do you spend less than $100 on not just gifts?
You either don't have $100 or you just don't love whoever you're buying gifts for.
You're just going to the dollar store for everybody.
Hey, I managed to not spend $1 on Amanda last year because I traded artwork for artwork.
That's true. But I mean, there's actually a higher percent of people that say that they're not going to spend anything than less than 100. There's 8% of Americans say that they're not going to spend a single cent.
They're fucking liars.
Oh, they totally are liars. These are just estimates. This is what people are planning on doing. Yeah. But all in all, this is probably the craziest thing. All in all, it totals up to, and this was just last year's numbers. So they're expecting it to rise 4.3 to 4.8% this year. So people are going to spend more money this year than they did last year. But apparently on just gifts and other Christmas stuff, which I'm assuming is like lights and things like that. But $717.45 billion to
How's our economy so
720
fucked if people spend so much money on one day?
on one day. $720 billion.
Spending dollars is how economies get fixed.
Yeah.
If you spend all your money on a bunch of shit you don't need,
Apparently it's all made in China.
it's because immediately people just are like, now I'm not paying any bills.
But yeah, so they have that, and they also talked about here where they talked about like the amount of money that was spent on like ship to home stuff, things like that. And you're talking about still once
all
again
of the dollars because nobody buys shit in a store anymore and everything's closed now.
it's over $120 billion. It's almost $130 billion spent on just things that were shipped to your home. Like, it's crazy.
My wife wanted to have Wawa delivered to our house.
I've done that.
You live next door to a Wawa. Like, that's worse than us. We live where nothing is.
Yeah, I know. It's really bad. But I mean, when you don't want to leave the house, you don't want to leave the house.
This is what's wrong with people these days, man. You gotta get out, get in your community, hug one another, hug strangers. No, don't do that. This is how you get fucking raped, or murdered, or whatever the fuck. Don't hug strangers. Strangers are bad people. Everyone's bad people. You don't stay in your house. Buy everything offline. Don't answer the door for the delivery person who's probably a criminal who's there to hurt you.
I feel like this is as good of a place.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know, but I think it's as good a place.
It went so wrong. I was all about giving joy and love, and then it just went. It turned.
It turned really dark.
It went really dark.
Really, really dark.
Everybody's out to hurt you.
Which, speaking of really, really dark, it segues or swagways.
Swagways. God, that's so nice.
I don't know. We'll hear it in the playback.
I don't know. Here it sounded really good.
It sounded pretty good in the headphones. But yeah, so that segues actually pretty decently into the next thing that I want to talk about.
Everybody kills themselves on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. It's the idea that everybody has that that more people, that due to the fact that Christmas is, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to pull a hair out of my head? Trying to fix one solitary hair?
I fixed it.
Thank you, but I wasn't aware of the one solitary hair. Thank you. So, once again, the idea that people, because of the holiday season, because it's all about love and joy and buying shit, or people buying shit for you, that more people are in a more dark place mentally and more people kill themselves. So that suicide rates are higher. So
I don't know how I feel that way. I do. I feel more inclined currently.
Yeah, I mean, and as you know, and this is something that we haven't really talked about.
Bills aren't getting paid.
Yeah, it's not something that we've talked about during the podcast. It's something that we've talked about, many times. Both of us have, really real struggles with depression, anxiety, things like that. And we'll go into that further in future podcasts. But I know for myself, at least, around the holidays, especially when I was younger, I felt a lot of loneliness and I felt isolated, and I did think about killing myself a lot more back then.
Now, when I was younger, I was a lot more of the completely blah person than I was.
Oh, yeah.
Where I just didn't feel anything. I didn't care. I was like that kid that my mom was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "I don't care, Mom. Just buy yourself something. Yeah. I don't care. I don't need anything." And it wasn't a big deal to me the way it was my sister who cried because she got the wrong color kitchen set. I'd just be like, "Thanks, Mom. I didn't need this. Thank you for giving me this."
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
I'm so that way. I'd rather give presents than get anything. I feel awkward getting presents, especially if it's something I don't want or need, because then I'm obligated to be thankful. But at the same time,
thank you very much for the thing that I
put this somewhere and never use it.
I'm not going to use. Yeah. Yeah, I completely understand. But yeah, so for you, it's a little bit different. For you, it wasn't a stressful time. It wasn't a depressing time, but then it became a stressful and depressing time. And that's really just because of the demands of life have raised so much that it causes it. Yes, so many.
Oh, the daughters.
But for me, it's kind of the opposite. For me, it was when I was younger. I really, really, hated it. I hated just the holidays in general. I didn't want anything to do with them. I wanted to be, I wanted to just be done with it. Didn't want to be alive during the holidays. As I've gotten older, and I think it's because of my daughter, I've started enjoying the holidays more. There's still times where, you still feel lonely. You're still kind of just this is pointless. Everything's pointless. I don't want to be alive. Those thoughts creep in every so often.
Every day.
But from what I found in my research, and this is multiple sites stated this, there was a 15-year study done actually, where they checked the suicide rates yearly. And what they found was that during the holiday season, so from Thanksgiving to Christmas, specifically around the time of Christmas where everyone thought that the rates were the highest, they're actually at the lowest that they are all year. So it's a myth. But no, I mean, it's...
Remember, we're 30. That's too late. I told you this theory.
Samuel L. Jackson didn't get his big break until he was 35.
Probably should have not just tried it.
Samuel L. Jackson.
35?
Yeah, he was 35.
He's been in everything since ever.
Yeah.
He's been in every movie ever.
Yeah, I mean...
So what is he, fucking 500 now? Was he 35 when silent films were still out?
Let's see how old Samuel.
I feel like he has been in a movie with fucking what's that silent film guy that was a Nazi?
Well, he was born in 1948. So he's 60 years old. No, he's 70.
What the fuck? Is he immortal?
Yeah,
holy shit, no fucking way.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
How old's Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman? I wonder if Samuel
He has to be $1 million.
This is kind of a tangent.
I can't believe that
he's born in 1937. Morgan Freeman is 81 years old.
He's barely older.
But, I mean, he's 11 years older than Samuel L. Jackson is.
I can't believe Samuel L. Jackson's fucking 70 years old.
He's 70 years old.
I'm going to lose him soon. I don't know if I can handle that.
Motherfucker. But no, so basically what it is a myth. I mean, there is a lot of depression, anxiety,
How many sources
like
do you have that say that? I just made some.
I found at least, I went through like 6 or 7 articles that all stated that.
You do realize that people still think that the Earth is flat? And that climate change is a myth too.
That is true. But this is, once again, this is based off of a 15-year research study that stated that suicides were 25% lower around Christmas time, particularly in Austria. Like, this is like a worldwide study. But
particularly Austria?
Yeah, well, Austria had like 25% fewer. That's like a significant drop.
What makes Austria better?
Arnold Schwarzenegger? I don't know. But no, so per this, like I said, it's a 15-year study, and it was done worldwide because they tracked suicide rates in England, in America, in Austria, and a bunch of other places. And looks like Australia and Mexico.
Just places where
a lot of people are, pretty much. But from what they have noticed, they said that around Christmas time in particular, in England there's a dip. In America, there's actually, on the day of Christmas, it's 15% lower. The suicide rate drops by 15% on Christmas Day.
It's so weird to me.
Yeah. And then, like I said, Austria, it drops by around 25%. They did say that in Australia and Mexico, it does seem to elevate slightly. But those are the only 2 places where it seems to be the case.
Like where the study was done, but...
Yeah. But what they did find, and this is what I think is interesting, and what I think plays to... I kind of think it really plays to like people's idea of Christmas, because people have this like romanticized idea.
Because of that movie.
Oh, well, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to
is that where like, the myth came from?
Probably like just people were able to identify with that. I think people think about suicide a lot more.
There's a lot of stress
during like Christmas time. So I think the contemplation of suicide happens a lot more, but I don't think the actual act.
Well, yeah, winter, like seasonal depression kicks in a lot more. I get worse. I know that. Like my depression in general, wintertime, I'm like, it's my last Christmas every time.
Yeah. So I mean, just seasonal depression alone definitely adds to the contemplation of suicide. But I think it's our romanticized idea of Christmas and that whole optimistic positivity, everything's going to be great, that people don't actually kill themselves on Christmas. Because I feel
like that would be the thing that made me do it.
Because at the same point, you're just like, I don't want to ruin my kid's Christmas. I don't want to ruin said Christmas. Maybe Christmas isn't the time. But according to this study, January 1st sees a huge spike in suicides.
People are just like, oh, fuck it.
And I think that's kind of what it is. I think people around the holidays, they become more stressed because of that need to buy whatever for everybody, to give everybody everything, that added pressure, the fact that your bills are going past due, all this shit's mounting up, and you're thinking about it around Christmas. And then you have still that romantic idea of Christmas needs to be perfect.
Well, there could be like even a romantic idea of just like ending it before the new year starts. Like,
yeah,
I get that.
Understand it, because I mean, I think a lot of people just go, you know what? Things were shitty all Christmas. Like all Christmas season, things were shitty. Christmas happened, it's still shitty, and I think people just look at it and go, I don't want to bring that into a new year. It's going to be the same thing.
I mean, well, there's also like even like our friendship. You knew me for a long time.
Yeah.
You knew how I felt about age, and you knew how I had like a weird romanticized idea that I was going to kill myself at a specific age to like prevent myself from going past that, and like it was just meant to be like this like symbol for me.
Yeah.
So I can get that. I can see like. I said 25.
Yeah, like Louis C.K. has an entire bit about it where he says that young people are stupid because you think that you're just like once you turn 40, you're just going to explode.
Mine was way earlier than that.
Like, well, no, I'm just saying like in general. He's just saying like in general, young people just think they're just going to live their life. They're going to live all in excess, and at 40, you're just going to explode in a nebula of excess and be like, oh man, he died just like he wanted. But in all actuality, what you're doing is you're just setting yourself up for a real shitty second half.
I was really, way different because I was more like, man, I'm gonna kill myself before 30 because I don't think anything's gonna happen after that.
Well, look at that.
So I had the opposite idea of that. So look at that. Like I was like, nah, man. Once I hit 30, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's
it all came from like a movie too. Like, there's like a movie about like an artist who like killed himself at 25 and he got like bigger for it, and I was like, that's what I want.
Like that sounds like.
I was already depressed and I already felt that way, and I was like, you know what? That's how artists become famous.
I mean,
I don't think there's like a cartoonist like me who does that, but still.
If you look at it like historically from an artistic perspective, yeah, like after you die,
I had a really fucked up romanticized idea of killing myself.
That's artists in general are more popular after they die. But I mean, I can understand it.
Not nowadays. Like,
not as much. But back in the day, yeah, that was most of the famous, the very very famous artists. It was because they died, and after they died, people were like, oh man, they died. Look at this. Tortured soul. Totally understandable now. I can see where he was going with that.
Emily Dickens.
Yeah.
No, I think he was famous.
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Yeah. Van Gogh really wasn't famous at all until after he died.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. People were just like, who the fuck is this schmuck?
Why is he only got 1 year?
Exactly. And then he died, and people were like, he's probably one of the greatest painters. Exactly. He's probably one of the greatest painters that ever lived. Per Doctor Who. That episode was amazing.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so I think that's basically what it is. I think it literally is that.
You know what Doctor Who does good? Christmas episodes.
Oh my god, Doctor Who does do great Christmas episodes. Even if they are always standalone.
And you can never fucking find them. I can't ever find them. Yeah.
I think I have.
Only ones I've ever seen were the ones that I watched live when they were on.
I think I have one upstairs in my room. Like I legitimately think I have one. I think I was given one. It was a gift.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which one, but I think I have one. But yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting thing. I mean, just to kind of try to like wrap it up a little bit. So Christmas, it's evolved into this commercialized holiday where people have put so much emphasis on how much can I spend on people that it leads to usually
massive stress.
It leads to massive stress, which usually will carry you through Christmas. But
fear of letting people down.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is that you're not gonna find that out until after Christmas, if you let someone down, or if you weren't able to deliver, or that things didn't.
No, you don't find out till the next Christmas, and they give you the gift that you gave them.
Oh my god, yeah, that's terrible.
And you're like, oh, really, Bridget?
You're like, thank you, Bridget.
Barbara, are you serious? God damn, Danielle.
Thank you, Stephanie. This is exactly what you wanted last year.
No, it's because you're like, stop buying this.
But no, yeah. So I think that's. I mean, we've gone from here on your paper. Let me touch that. Yeah, we've gone from pagan celebration of just the changing of the light and the hope for not darkness, and then it evolved from that to let's all fuck. Because once again, the sun.
It was all let's all fuck, and then baby Jesus was born. People were like,
no, yeah. I jumped ahead saying baby Jesus. So there's the let's all fuck because once again, still the sun, and then it was baby Jesus. Let's stop fucking quite so much because of baby Jesus and earmuffs and all.
And then the Puritans were like, sex is only for babies.
Okay, and
that's what the Puritans were, man. They were all like pure as fuck. Since the Puritans, because they were pure and they were tan. Is that what that means?
I don't think they were tan.
Isn't that how it works? Isn't that how Latin works?
So yeah, so it evolved from that, and then we've landed at our modern understanding of Christmas, which is basically just love and happiness.
Just spend money.
No. There was more to what I was saying. See, money. You cut me off there.
Money.
Love and happiness can be dictated by the amount of money
you spend
that you spend on people.
I did it.
And if you don't do that, and you don't do it well enough, and if you let your life fall to disarray, then by the time New Year's comes around, you just kind of want to end it all. That's kind of what the holiday season has developed into. It's developed from pagan celebration of the sun to I want to spend as much money as possible so people love me, and if they don't love me, then I can't handle it anymore, then I gotta die.
But you know what, people? You know why you need to keep going on, and you can't end it on November 1st. What the fuck?
January 1st.
January 1st.
Don't end it.
What's today?
Today is...
Who cares? It's December. It's December something or something.
Yeah.
The reason you need to keep going on, everybody, is because you may be stressed out. You may have overspent your money. You may have not paid your bills for a month or two to make sure that you can spend your money on your family. But just remember, it's tax season soon, and you're going to get a check.
Them W-2s.
So the government stole all your money from, and they're going to give it back. Well, they're going to give back a small amount of the money.
They're going to give you back a little bit.
They took 40% of your money, and they're going to give you back 10% of that.
That's still.
And you'll be able to pay back some of those bills you didn't pay.
Exactly.
They don't want you to do that because they want you to spend money on the economy
because apparently $720 billion on one day isn't enough to stimulate our fucking economy.
No.
But no, so another reason to keep going is to subscribe to Rum Runnas so you can get amazing podcasts like this every Wednesday.
Where can people find you, J-Rad?
Where can people find me? People can find me on Facebook, but mostly I just do everything through the company. So you can follow Rum Runners on Facebook /Rum Runners. You can also follow me on Instagram because I use the Instagram for Rum Runners. So Instagram /Rum Runners. I don't really do anything on my own. I don't have that interesting of a life for me to really put it out there.
You can also find us on YouTube if you look up Rum Runners.
Yes.
So other funny videos that we do if you're not one of our YouTubers.
Yeah, you should hopefully be watching this on YouTube or following us on YouTube. But make sure that if you do that, now we don't quite have YouTube /Rum Runners yet, but if you search Rum Runnas, that's RUM space RUNNAS. If you search that on YouTube, you will be able to find the page. We do have tons of funny videos. We don't just do the podcast. And we are releasing more every single
so far.
Yeah. But we are releasing more every single week. We try to release we've gotten to the point where we can release at least 2 videos a week. So you can definitely find us there. Now, Kyle, you actually do stuff on your own. Where can they find you?
I draw fancy pictures, and you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Norwal. That's MISTER_NORWHAL on Instagram. And yeah, I did spell Norwal wrong, but that's on purpose. And
that was intended.
Something for another time. All right. Yeah, again, you can find me on Instagram at Mr. Norwal. MISTER_NORWHAL.
Yeah, and he will actually have more pictures on there than we have on the Instagram for Rum Runners, because not everything that he draws is for us. He does like to just draw things that he enjoys for himself.
And I take commissions and stuff. So if you guys want me to draw your pictures for monies, I'll do that. Maybe if you like it.
All right then. So as has become tradition, to close out the episode, we will drink the rest of our festive cocktails that are in our cups. So thank you very much for being here again for another week, Kyle. Go! Prost. All right.
Bye, internets.
Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of the Rum Runners Podcast, where we drink rum and talk about stuff. I am Jared.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next week. Well, it's because
a lot of this has to get edited out.
You keep distracting me.
I like 1 million penises on my face.
I'm keeping that part. Even if it doesn't make sense in the edit, I will put it in somewhere.
It just gets pasted in a random spot.